Hey guys, today EA Sports NHL tweeted out an announcement of a brand new gameplay patch that will be coming to NHL 22. Now, obviously, last year there just wasn't a lot of gameplay patches, so seeing them proactively fix some of the game's biggest issues is definitely ideal. I'm not going to lie, the list is extremely lengthy and it spans multiple modes. For this video, I'm going to focus on the main gameplay things that you're going to see in Hockey Ultimate Team. Now, I have linked the article down below so you can go and take a look at the entire thing yourself, and it will be coming tomorrow around noon Eastern time. All right, guys, let's break down the biggest parts of this patch. Like I said, I'm going to pick and choose the things I think will impact the game the most, and we're going to stick with shooting first. So the very first added notation here is added more variety to deflection location on deflections that push the puck down based off of the hand-eye rating. That's a positive. I mean, it's not going to be something that's hugely impactful. However, the higher the hand-eye stat, the better the deflection. That's obviously a plus. Improved catch and release one-timers from long distance that were not being treated as good quality shots. You saw this a lot on one-timers from the point. It's almost like they would catch the puck and then fire what would look like a wrist shot. It was definitely a big issue, and it led to the inability to actually use one-timers from the point very often. This is definitely a good fix. It's something that needed to be changed, and honestly, the one-timer has not been all that effective so far. I'm not talking about the cross-crease tap-in. I'm talking about, the one-timer from the hash mark. So that is a gigantic improvement and something that we're going to see change, and I think that the point shots will be relevant now going forward. Improvements to shot selections where reaching shots were being chosen instead of ideal shots from where the puck starts. So again, this kind of details when you incorrectly catch the pass that you just weren't, or correctly catch the pass, you just weren't getting a very good animation. And again, that's obviously a plus. The biggest changes, however, is goalie interferences. That was a big issue so far in the game. I think it was the most broken thing that we had happen, where basically goalie interference was either called as a penalty or it was the goal counted even though it shouldn't have. So one of the biggest changes that will be coming in the patch, fixed to just disallow goals instead of giving a minor penalty on goalie interference that does not knock the goalie over. So again, a very good addition. They're addressing that goalie interference issue. Another big thing that I have noticed in gameplay is that using the stick lift by hitting X or A was almost always resulting in a penalty unless it was almost dead perfect when you stick lift. I think that it was just a little too ridiculous. It was tuned a little too far to give out penalties, and now we're getting tuned stick lift targeting in situations where players unintentionally were overshooting the ideal stick lift target. So again, just an adjustment there, and I think that's a pretty positive one. So another big thing other than the goalie interference issues were Poe Checks. Now obviously Poe Checks have been a pretty big hot topic when it comes to gameplay so far in NHL 22, as they did seem overpowered. You can basically just spam R1, and because it tracks the puck as opposed to holding down the defensive skill stick, which is not, people were just spamming R1. So one of the first things on physics getting tuned is further improvements to stick in physics regarding the strength of a defender's stick versus a puck carrier's legs based on leverage and or how much the stick impedes a player. So I think what this means is that you're going to see a lot more tripping penalties if you just spam R1, and obviously that's a pretty big issue. Ones pertaining to goaltenders, they fixed cases where goaltenders would do a late save animation when not near the puck, so you would see like a desperation save randomly, or you'd see that really huge overcommit left or right when they're swimming. So that's obviously a very good fix, as they just looked way too aggressive, and that's being addressed. They fixed some cases where the goalie would start a push animation when the puck carrier is about to collide with them, causing pucks to go underneath for goals. Again, this was just a huge issue, as you could just run into the goaltender and the puck would go through and underneath. I'm really excited that they are addressing that one. Another huge one was improved cases where goalies would attempt covers through the side of the net. This was super frustrating, where basically they would just try to cover the puck even though the net was in the way, and they would get stuck in that cover animation. I've had that happen to me quite a bit, so again, a really big plus there. Another one that I think could be pretty impactful with how the meta is so far in NHL 22, obviously behind the net is where a lot of things are being, a lot of the game is taking place because of that, walkout forehand or backhand wrap that is so prevalent in NHL 22. There are some improvements to the AI where the AI will actually go behind the net now, because for the most part, if you had it set even to high aggressive, your AI would just not go behind the net, which was a huge issue, and this can help you get into position a little bit quicker when you are trying to play manual defense, because your AI will actually start before you have to switch off. Another huge issue with the AI was one-timers, just the AI not getting in position to actually set up and take a one-timer. So there's improvements to offensive AI looking for one-timers that are parking themselves too close to the middle of the net. I've seen this happen a ton as well, which is, again, another reason why the one-timer just hasn't been super prevalent so far. And while a lot of people might like that, that is one of the most effective ways to score in hockey, and making it a little bit more realistic is obviously a big plus. All right, now let's talk about the Hockey Ultimate Team fixes. This is actually in the mode specific, not gameplay. So they added an option to autofill sets from the trade pile. This is obviously a great quality of life improvement. So you could set a bunch of cards in your trade pile and you can autofill from that trade pile, which is awesome. They've added an option to deactivate abilities for all players in the ability limit screen, so zone and superstar abilities. Instead of having to go in and change it for each individual one, you can actually turn them all off and then start fresh. Again, nothing huge, but obviously a quality of life improvement. They added the ability to claim objective rewards from the post-game screen, obviously a plus. They fixed an issue where goalie and player stats were not accurate when presented before a face-off, so that new display that was coming up on the ice, they weren't really showing the correct stats. Obviously, a good fix there. Another issue they fixed where the inbox and open pack counts don't refresh in the manage inbox pop-up after completing a set. So that's where you complete a set, you hit the right trigger, and it would show 0 in terms of inbox or open packs, and now that'll actually reflect the correct amount. Fix an issue where relist all appeared as an option when comparing prices from the trade pile. That wasn't meant to be happening, so they removed that. They fixed an issue where the in-reverse ability text was not eligible or legible in the player information screen. If you guys saw that zone ability, if you had in reverse, it was like extremely small. They fixed a crash that happened when switching from compare price to the player information screen in the trade pile. This was happening. It was super frustrating. It would just brick your game. So that's a big fix. Also fixed a crash that would occur sometimes during the play of the period in squad battles. Obviously, with squad battles, you only get 2 chances at a game. It's a huge, they need to make sure that's fixed, and that's now done. Now, guys, like I said, there is a ton of things that were fixed in, franchise mode, Be a Pro, a ton in World of Chell, and a lot more. I want you guys to go through it. I just wanted to show you the bigger points that we will be getting tomorrow in game so that you guys have a little bit more knowledge to watch out for. Guys, let me know what you think in the comments section down below. Don't forget to give the video a like. I do appreciate it. Subscribe for the most up-to-date NHL 22 news and info. I'll catch you live on stream, 1 p.m. Eastern time every single day on Twitch. Have a good one, guys.